This man discovered something strange. In a world where skills determine everything, he could grow infinitely stronger by exploiting a loophole. It turns out that if an ordinary person eats 2 skill fruits, they are bound to be poisoned and die. However, Jack awakened the class of Fruitmaster through the fruits. On the surface, the Fruitmaster can rapidly mature fruits, but this class also has a passive skill. It allows the user to ignore any poison in the fruits. At first, Jack didn't know about this passive skill. After 3 months of effort, he used his Fruitmaster skill to accelerate the growth of a fruit orchard. But he wasn't satisfied with being just a fruit farmer. Jack's dream was to become an adventurer. His childhood friend Jenny had even awakened the Sword Saint's skill, leaving him far behind. So after working on the farm every day, Jack would practice swordsmanship in the mountains. He promised that as soon as he could chop through a wooden stake, he would immediately go to the Imperial capital to become an adventurer. However, no matter how hard Jack tried, he still couldn't do it. One day when the village chief went out, he asked Jack to look after his daughter, Annie. Annie was very considerate. Not only did she help Jack manage the fruits, but she also made dinner for him in advance. What Jack didn't expect, though, was that tonight's dinner was made using skill fruits. Annie, unaware of the effects of the skill fruits, just casually grabbed some ingredients from the house to prepare the meal. When Jack found out, he was extremely nervous because he remembered what the Saintess had said: if someone eats more than 2 skill fruits, they're certain to die. Suddenly, Jack felt a heat surge through his body and collapsed to the ground. But after a while, he realized that nothing had happened. Meanwhile, inside the church, the Saintess found it hard to believe. She had calculated that someone was about to appear who would change the world. At this moment, Jack was very confused. But before he could think much further, Annie had also eaten skill fruits, awakened the identification skill. She immediately saw the effects of all Jack's classes. The Fruitmaster could ignore any poison from fruits, and Jack had just awakened the Sword God class. With a sword in hand, he gained incredibly high attack power.